Year on year, ad costs are rising on every platform, whether it is Meta or Google or any other platform for that matter. The cost of delivering the ad to a person is increasing and it is always going to increase, right? So, the page where you bring that traffic, like on Facebook or Instagram, if somebody is clicking, you're bringing traffic over there, that really matters a lot. And that is essentially what is known as the landing page. Somebody clicks on the ad and they land on a page. In this video, we are going to see how to make high converting landing pages so that you can take the most advantage of the clicks that you are paying for, right? So without further ado, let's just get started. Three pillars of high converting landing pages. First is irresistible offer. Nothing can beat that on the ad, on the landing page, everything. This is the core backbone of your entire marketing campaign. Copywriting that converts. We have prepared and learned about copywriting in some of the other videos. I will link them over here. That will give you a premise on which we are building on top of. And then for conversion focused designs, strategic layout and hierarchies that guide users to convert. So combining all these three different pillars, we will be able to make high converting landing pages, right? What makes a landing page convert more, right? That's the essential question that we are trying to address in this video. Well, a mix of emotion and logic, right? So people usually don't buy things with complete logic, right? The buying decision, the decision, that exact snap is actually driven by high emotion, and then justification happens with logic, right? To give you an example, if you want to purchase a bike, right, you went to a showroom, you took a test drive, and it just feels amazing, the engine revving and everything that is happening while you're riding the bike, the wind on your face, all those things that you felt made you take a decision of buying a particular bike, right? But then when you meet a friend and if people, congratulate that, oh man, you bought a 1 2 3 4 lakh rupees bike, what's so good about it? What do? You explain, oh man, this is like 300 cc bike, it has this feature, that feature. While yeah, that mattered, but at the same time, it's the feel that you purchased it for, right? And which is very hard to explain, put in words. That's why logic is very, very good. It is easily available to put a logical argument, right? Why not this bike? Why that bike, etc., etc. So let's come back to the presentation. So emotional elements and logical elements have to be balanced, right? So, what are the emotional elements? Emotional copy that resonates with someone, social proof that builds trust, and compelling CTAs that drive action. While at the same time, your landing page should also have logical justification for purchases. What are the benefits, right? What are the objective benefits for this particular offer? Clear offer with specific benefits as mentioned over here, and reduce risk reducers like guarantees, trials, free estimates, something like that, right? Depends on business to business, but the core idea is that both of these things have to be balanced on the pages that you're bringing the traffic from, which is your landing page, right? So you have to balance these elements for maximum conversion power. Now, in terms of the page structure, right? You open a landing page and now you see a long landing page. So here is how I like to think about it, and this is how I design the landing pages for my clients, is that I divide the page into two AIDA sections. AIDA is basically a copywriting framework: attention, interest, desire, action, right? So earlier, when I was studying digital marketing, what I studied was make a AIDA page. So your first section has to be attention, then interest, then desire, then action. While yeah, that stands true. That's what I learned and that worked as well. But with my own personal experience, what I realized is that these days, because almost 90% of your traffic is coming from mobile phones, these days, what you see on the first screen is what people will judge you from, like judge your landing page from, judge your offer from, right? So that's why now what I do is I try to divide my landing pages into two AIDA sections, right? So if I'm opening a landing page on a mobile phone, then whatever is available or visible on that specific mobile phone screen has to be an AIDA by itself. It has to have all the elements of AIDA, and this section is what we call as above the fold, right? And then when you swipe, you are basically going below the fold, and then the below the fold landing page can be as long as it is needed. right? No, you don't have to make it necessarily long, but as long as it is needed to do what? To help balance emotion and logic, right? Of your offer. And then for that bottom of the fold, which we call bottom of the fold because it is below the screen. If you are viewing it on a desktop, you view the section which is below the screen on the desktop version. That itself becomes an AIDA, right? So you have splitted your entire landing page into AIDA part 1, which is above the fold, and AIDA part 2. And this framework has helped me structure landing pages for my own clients, and it works, right? So what is this AIDA at above the fold, which we call micro AIDA? Attention, visual hero headline that immediately grabs attention. Interest, one liner, small description which resonates with the ICP. Desire, mini bullet points, quick benefits, or some social proof, or what can you actually do, anything. Yeah, like you, there are many elements that you personally have to play with, which will trigger the desire. And then action, which is your primary CTA. You can have a secondary CTA as well, but core action is your primary CTA, right? This is your above the fold, having all these elements. Then you have bottom of the fold, which is basically a detailed explanation of whatever you have mentioned. Keep just one simple thing in mind, that if a user has to be convinced based on whatever your ad copy or keyword that you are targeting, if that users come on the first segment of your landing page, they are more or less aware of what your offer is. And if they are completely convinced, they can just click that button and go ahead, right? That much, if you keep in mind, you'll be already making killer landing pages. But then you also need bottom of the funnel, because people scroll and see if there is anything that will grab their attention, or anything that has grabbed the attention on the first segment can give them more information about it, right? So this is the bottom of the fold part. Detailed attention, right? Expand on the problem statement, add more context over here. Deeper interest, what? Talk about benefits, talk about features, talk about social proof, right? This is where your copywriting will really shine, if you are able to keep the person hooked, right? Strong desire. If there are any objections, if there is any urgency element, right? A user may have in their mind, right? Why should I trust your company? As simple as that. It can be as simple as that. So adding elements which can help them answer. So on the landing page, like there is no sales guy that is going to sit and talk with the person. Think of it like they just dropped by your store. So your landing page is like your salesperson. They have to convey all the possible questions that a user might have, right? It may not be the case that they'll necessarily read everything, but there are different types of users that will come. They will have different types of questions, and your landing page job is to have all the information that a person may require, right? And then the final call to action, which can be like multiple CTAs spread across the landing page, right? Cool. So this is what an AIDA segment can look like, right? Users should understand your value instantly without a scroll. That's the entire idea. So this is one of the projects where you can see the AIDA more or less in action. So this is the headline: switch your business to solar and save up to 90% on your electricity bill. It immediately grabs the attention. Targeting for a landing page like this can be commercial solar solutions, home solar solutions, anything like that. But more or less it will be commercial solar solutions, because that's what it's written over here. Then you have description. Brand name is leading provider of commercial solar solutions. We help businesses save money, uh, increase property value, benefit the environment with solar energy. These are the basically benefits. So this actually grab the attention and increase your interest with the second statement, save up to 90%. This is more about influencing that desire. And then you have the action in place, which is request energy audit, right? Now, just to show you an example, like this, if you see this example by itself, you feel like, oh, this is great, right? You may think that what is the offer? What is the irresistible offer over here? But to give you an example, this is a real estate page, which I just saw right now. Now, if you see over here, this is above the fold. I will also do a mobile version for this. This is above the fold. While there is inquiry button and all over here, but if you see over here, there's basic information, CTS inquire now, right? Over here, if you scroll, it says this apartment luxury. The text is not readable. These are some of the design elements, and then there is a submit button. Instead, It can be book a home visit, schedule an appointment, download a brochure. Something your often does not have to be a monetary discount. You cannot say 10% on the home purchase, right? Or extra loan benefits on the home purchase, because every user is going to be different, right? So case by case things will be different. But at the same time, with your CTAs, you don't necessarily have to go with inquire now, submit. You can be creative over here. Schedule a site visit, book a home tour with us, talk with a real estate consultant. It can be anything, right? Let's come back to the presentation. So this is an example of above the fold, right? With this brand for commercial solar. And like in this landing page, I have that landing page open as well. If you just see it from the desktop point of view, our latest solar commercial projects, the moment you scroll down, you see real work that they have done along with certain numbers, right? So as a person who is looking for a solution, immediate trust is built. I have the CTA option over here. I have a steady CTA. I can make a call as well. Products we offer, like they so that I know that these guys are dealing with premium quality products. Access up to 50,000 in solar business rebates. Request more information. So how structured it is, like any question that I may have is getting answered one by one. If I scroll even more down, why our brand, right? So they have 10 years of solution. They have highlighted these things. These are the elements. They have added ISO batches which are going to be trustworthy, right, in this process. Now somebody may have a question, what is your process look like, right? Like, because it is commercial, so it may involve a lot of steps. They have clearly called out 8-step process, and they have taken a user through all the processes. So we went to bottom of the fold, which is mentioned over here, but just to give you an example, right, of how it all looks like in action. So bottom of the funnel, bottom of the fold best practices, core value proposition, benefits relevance, trust authority. Some of the examples that we already saw with Cyan Energy, handle objections, urgency, scarcity, and CTA, right? This is how the information can be structured. Flow can also be structured accordingly, but you can be creative over here, right? You can test the flow based on how you want. Then just continuing on this page, we have seen the 8-step process. Then there are other additional things over here as well. We guarantee cash flow positive investment. So this is more like an FAQ, right? Again, what they have not done, which is really nice, is not just mention FAQs, right? You can be creative with your headlines also. Commercial solar financial incentives. So these are some Australian government incentives that are available. They have mentioned over here. So if a customer is coming with that information that I fit in the STCs or I fit in the LGCs, then I have something to read over here, right? If some customer is having or potential customer is having a doubt regarding the process, transparency, they are trusted over here. Some person is interested in badges, they are mentioned over here. Somebody wants to know what kind of products they will be using, they have it here. All possible questions are here. And then of course there is testimony. This builds trust more than anything else. We also saw in just below the above the fold section, they had the real projects along with the numbers that they had done, right? And this is like calling out the audience. Now they have another version of FAQs over here as well, and here is the form. And this form doesn't necessarily have to be here, but what they have done, if you see, is that once you click on this, you are redirected to that segment, right? So you don't have to necessarily scroll to find the form. CTAs are well placed across the landing page. Whenever you are convinced to go ahead, there is a CTA with you, so that it will redirect you to the form and you can fill an inquiry, right? Another example of up below the fold is this one. So above the fold, you will see it's very simple and neat over here. Hassle-free interiors from start to finish. There is Dhoni, so that is social celebrity-driven trust that is mentioned over here, and they have a free offer of getting estimates. Right, that's their simple offer. It's not like submit or inquire now, which we saw in the other landing page. Why choose us? We have done X amount of work in X amount of city. Why home lane? These many homes delivered, etc. They have kept it very simple. We can do all these things for you. Transforming homes. So there are homes. So there are like real images of the work that they have done. Get full interiors, get only kitchens. So I have worked with the interior designing industry in the past, and kitchen design by itself is required a lot, right? Because if you see new homes, so there is a demand for kitchen development by itself. So they have created a separate segment for it. completely. They have video driven testimonials, they have FAQs, and again, a CTA is with you all the time. Same if you see one of their competitors bring home, so they don't have a person like Dhoni, but this brand is very well known, right? They have worked on their brand a lot. So your trust is already there to a certain extent. Bring home beautiful interiors that fit your budget, get instant estimate. Straight up, nothing else. And a beautiful picture of a work that they have done in the past. Similar to Homelane, they have these numbers. Then see, if you'll see over here, right? Like they are playing with their CTAs at different section. Get instant estimate, get free code, book free consultation, get free code. How can I help you today? There's also a WhatsApp button if some user is comfortable using WhatsApp to get in touch. So you have to keep these elements in testing. You have to add testimonials that will build trust. Again, over here, if you see kitchen, and they have also added like a wardrobe. Now, if you see CTA is again changed, right? It is calculate. So for each segment, if they are introducing anything, they are introducing a separate CTA, right? Which essentially it can take you to the same page, right? Maybe the next page is about calculation, maybe the next page is about the inquiry, but it is essentially taking you to the same page. But every action you will feel that you are doing something personalized in this segment, right? What they offer, their complete, again, trust partners, because in this case also trust partners is there. They have, apart from that, added a lead magnet, right? Home interior guide, so that you have an idea. There can be a lot of window shoppers, so to grab that person in an early stage of decision buying process, which can be further nurtured with email, WhatsApp calls, or just developing a relationship, this can be a good option. They have some visuals to build the trust, and again, CTAs, call now, WhatsApp. So giving users as many options as possible to get in touch with you, whatever a user is comfortable with, right? You don't have to think about that, oh, I will only receive leads in a Google form or sheet or CRM or something like that. You have to provide the easiest possible ways for a user to get in touch with you. That will increase the conversion rates automatically. Like there is no magic. If I'm comfortable with call, somebody else is comfortable with SMS, somebody else is comfortable with submitting a lead form. You have provided all three options. So you are basically making it easier for all three people to get in touch with you, right? Now they have, like, one thing that I really enjoyed on this landing page is that they have these interactive elements, so that you are actually playing a game, and see, at a certain percentage, around like 70-80% till the time you have scratched, it will give you a pop-up to fill an inquiry form, right? So these are very interactive elements in the news, again, to just develop the trust, right? So these are the elements that are really good. And as you saw, each landing page is having a different feel to it, depending on the company, depending on the type of business. But these are the elements that you have to keep in mind, and then keep playing with your own landing page, right? It's not like you can build a landing page, but you can have tools like MS Clarity, Hotjar, Crazy Egg to have heat maps, recordings, etc. Use data to see what kind of user behavior you are seeing on the landing page, and then just play along with it, right? That essentially becomes your conversion rate optimization, right? We have already done a live breakdown of these landing pages, right? But this is like a review checklist that you can have. Objection handle, above the fold, AIDA, trust established, CT, and urgency, right? So all the three elements that landing pages we saw, we found these elements over there, and in the other one which we had seen previously, the real estate example, we didn't find these elements right there immediately, right? So that's a wrap. You have to keep in mind emotion plus logic plus flow, right? You have to balance emotion and logic for maximum conversion, layered AIDA structure for maximum information and capturing attention, while also making sure all the details are provided. Avoid clutter. Just make sure that each space is getting, like, this is something which was missing in Cyan Energy. It was too cluttered, but Live Space and Home Lane, they had it very clean and neat. Each section was getting its individual attention. And apart from that, the elements that we have already seen, keep playing with these elements, because and keep gathering data with Hotjar and Crazy Egg and MS Clarity. MS Clarity is free to sign up for, so you can just get started. Cool. So with this knowledge, audit your existing landing page, apply the AIDA 2x framework, and test different variations. Thank you so much for watching. That's about it. Audit your existing landing page, see if all these elements are there, apply the 2x AIDA framework, and test different variations. That's about it. And if you want more information related to performance growth and AI, subscribe to GrowthCraft. See you in the next one.